Good afternoon, everyone. Man, I'm used to saying good morning. I am Robert Ogie. I'm the pastor of Cutler Bay Worship Center right here in beautiful yet overcast and cloudy Cutler Bay. I'm saying that a lot lately. I feel like I shouldn't be down in Miami, but hey, that's what it is. Welcome to the book of Proverbs, chapter 3. Now, yes, we're the third day of the month, and we're going to do chapter 3 today. We didn't do day 1 and day 2, but that's okay. We'll just pick up at the beginning of next month, all right? What I felt like this morning as I was spending time with God and just reading the Word, I really felt like this is an opportunity for us to just take some time. Take June. Our kids just got out of school, if you're down here anyways. Out of school, out of our kitchen or our dining room or our living room, wherever they've been in class. They're out now. And so anyways, we're jumping into summer, and sometimes we can, summer's just a good time to reflect, and I'm hoping that's what it is for you this summer as well. For me, for my family, that we can enjoy our time together, enjoy some time as a family, and really just reflect and enjoy God's creation and His love for us and all of that. So anyways, as I was praying this morning, I just really felt, why don't we take this month, June, and go through the book of Proverbs. Listen, there's 31 chapters in the book of Proverbs, which makes it perfect to take one a day per month, unless the month doesn't have 31 like this month, but that's okay. We'll start and we'll just see where this goes, all right? Because there's so much wisdom in the book of Proverbs, and it's great to be able to just take that and to really just grab hold of what God wants to say through it. Why I'm excited that we're starting this today is simply because Proverbs chapter 3, we're on day 3 of the month. Proverbs chapter 3 has my favorite book, or my favorite verse in the entire Bible, I think. I actually have it on my wall on a beautiful plaque that Kelly got me for Christmas. And it's Proverbs chapter 3, verse 6. But you know what? I want to take some time and we're going to read it, okay? Because I want to read each proverb every day, and then we might grab one thing out of it. We might grab two things out of it. We might grab a lot. Okay, but the great thing about doing this and doing this every month, reading the 31 Proverbs in a month, is that every single time you read these, it's like something else jumps off the page. Like I was reading Proverbs chapter 3 this morning, and I thought every single verse feels like this is a whole message of information. And so let's talk through it. We're going to read through it, okay? I'm going to read it from the New Living Translation, and here we go. All right. Proverbs chapter 3, starting in verse 1. My child, never forget the things I have taught you. Store my commands in your heart. If you do this, you will live many years, and your life will be satisfying. Never let loyalty and kindness leave you. Tie them around your neck as a reminder. Write them deep within your heart. Then you will find favor with both God and people, and you will earn a good reputation. Let's just stop there for a second. I mean, this is what we want in life, isn't it? Then you will find favor with both God and people. I mean, I think that's what everybody wants, to be able to have a good favor in your life. Favor is to be able to walk in blessing and walk in the goodness of God and have a good life. I mean, when you have favor with people, it's like walking into a store, walking into a restaurant, and everybody knows your name. It's just like everybody is happy to see you, and like that's finding good favor with God and with people. That's a high mark in life. And when we do this, it says this: my child, never forget the things I have taught you. If you do this, that's what you can expect. If we apply the wisdom, okay? So this is King Solomon writing this, and he's written this. God has given him such wisdom. He is the wisest person in the world, and he's given him this wisdom. If we live by the wisdom that God gives us, these are some of the things we can expect, right? Never let loyalty and kindness leave you. That's a big one. Never let loyalty and kindness leave you. Tie them around your neck as a reminder. Write them deep within your heart. Then you'll find favor with both God and people, and you will earn a good reputation. All right, let's keep reading. Verse 5. Trust in the Lord. Hi, Kaylee Hope. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. Don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Then you will have healing for your body and strength for your bones. I don't know about you, but I would love some healing for my body and strength for my bones. I just spent 3 hours mowing a lawn. I could use some strength for my bones right now. Honor the Lord with your wealth and with the best part of everything that you produce. Then he will fill your barns with grain, and your vats will overflow with good wine. My child, don't reject the Lord's discipline, and don't be upset when he corrects you. For the Lord corrects those he loves, just as a father corrects a child in whom he delights. Again, I want to stop here for a second. The correction of the Lord is not the punishment of the Lord. The correction of the Lord is a course correction, right? Don't reject the Lord's discipline. That's not punishment, that's discipline. What do we say when someone's really, really good at sticking to something? We say, wow, they are so disciplined. And I've realized something in my life where I don't spend extra time creating discipline in my life ends up disciplining me in not a great way. When we don't take the time to really dedicate ourselves to something, to discipline ourselves to things, then what happens is those things, I'll take an example, okay? So, and I don't mind talking about this. If we look at just simply something like health, okay, or my weight. When I am not disciplined in focusing on that, my life and what I do, the non-discipline of my life ends up disciplining me. I don't feel as good. I feel a little more sluggish. I feel whatever. But when I am disciplined, I reap a harvest of good in my life. So don't reject the Lord's discipline, his course correction in your life when you feel like, hey, wait a second, I feel like I should be changing the way I'm doing things. Good. For the Lord corrects those he loves, just as a father corrects a child in whom he delights. When you feel like God is saying, maybe let's try something different, it's probably because he's loving you really well in that moment. Verse 13, joyful is the person who finds wisdom, the one who gains understanding. For wisdom is more profitable than silver, and her wages are better than gold. Wisdom is more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare to her. She offers you long life in her right hand and riches and honor in her left. Man, I like this girl. She will guide you down delightful paths. All her ways are satisfying. Wisdom is a tree of life to those who embrace her. Happy are those who hold her tightly. By wisdom, the Lord founded the earth. By understanding, he created the heavens. By his knowledge, the deep fountains of the earth burst forth, and the dew settles beneath the night sky. My child, don't lose sight of common sense. And discernment. Let's read that again. My child, don't lose sight of common sense and discernment. Hang on to them, for they will refresh your soul. They are like jewels on a necklace. They keep you safe on your way, and your feet will not stumble. You can go to bed without fear. You will lie down and sleep soundly. You need not be afraid of sudden disaster or the destruction that comes upon the wicked, for the Lord is your security. He will keep your foot from being caught in a trap. What was all that from? That you don't have to worry. You can go to bed and sleep at night and not have to worry and not fear if you don't lose sight of common sense and discernment. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it. When it's in your power to help them, if you can help your neighbor now, don't say, come back tomorrow, and then I'll help you. Don't plot harm against your neighbor, for those who live nearby trust you. Don't pick a fight without reason when no one has done you harm. Don't envy violent people or copy their ways. Such wicked people are detestable to the Lord, but he offers his friendship to the godly. The Lord curses the house of the wicked, but he blesses the home of the upright. The Lord mocks the mockers, but is gracious to the humble. The wise inherit honor, but fools are put to shame. Like I said, chapter 3 of Proverbs is like a book within itself. It's just incredible the amount of solid wisdom that is in here. I could unpack this for days, I feel like. But what I want to focus on this morning, and what I'm going to end with this morning, because I really want to just take some time and read this. Some things might jump out at me. I might share some thoughts. But what I want to say today is one of the verses in this, like I said, it's one of my favorite verses in the entire Bible. It's Proverbs chapter 3, verse 6. It says, "Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take." Or I like the ESV version of this verse. It says, "In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths." Now, Kelly and I went through a season of our lives just a few years ago where we were really struggling with what we were supposed to do, with what we were supposed to do next. We were coming to the end of a season, and we were just frustrated because we did not know what we were supposed to do next. And I remember sitting in my seat in front of the fireplace. We were still in Canada, not in Miami. And I sat there and I said, "God, I don't know what to do, but I acknowledge you in my life." Like if your word says, in Proverbs 3:6 says, "In all your ways acknowledge me, you'll make my path straight." That means that if I acknowledge you, I shouldn't have to worry about whether I need to turn left or turn right, because my path should be straight, correct? So I said, "God, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I know you care for my life, and so I acknowledge you. I acknowledge you." Listen, if you are sitting in your life wondering what you're doing, how you're going to make it, what you should do with your life, how you're supposed to live, all of those questions that we get in our lives, I want you to stop and I want you to say, whether you are like 100% I totally believe in God and he speaks to me and all that kind of stuff, or you're like, "Hey, I'm still kind of wondering about this thing. Like, is God real?" I want you to take a chance and say this. Just look up and say, "God, if you are there, if you are real, I acknowledge that you are there and you are real. If your Bible is correct, if this thing is true, then you are the King of kings. You're the King of the universe. You created it all. And if that is true, I acknowledge that you are King in my life." Because if you're the King of kings, then you're King of everything. And if you're King of everything, then you're King of me too. And so I'm going to take a chance and say, "God, I acknowledge you. I acknowledge you." I did that. I sat there in front of my fireplace. I said, "God, I acknowledge you in my life. You are King of my life. And so I acknowledge that you are here with me and you care more about me than I could ever try and care about my own situation myself. So I acknowledge you." I'm telling you, within, what was it, maybe 2.5 weeks, the answer didn't only present itself to us, but it was in such a way that it was just, the path was so straight. I didn't have to question. We didn't have to ask how or why or what. It just was what it was. And we knew exactly what we were supposed to do. And it was the easiest thing for us to just start walking forward. I did this just a few weeks ago. Okay, I was standing in our fellowship hall at our church, and I'm standing there saying, "God, I don't know how. We don't have the money, but I want to feed kids this summer. When they get out of school and they're not going to get their breakfast and lunch from the school system, I want to be able to feed them, and I have no idea how we're going to do that. I acknowledge you in my life." That's all I was doing. I was saying, "God, I don't know how, but you do. Hear this, the cry of my heart, and whatever path you put in front of me, I will walk on it." Sure enough, within 2-3 weeks at the most, I got a call from someone that did not know that this was a desire of my heart, did not know this was something I wanted to do. And they said to me flat out, "I thought of you when I was talking to my friend who gives food to kids during the summer. Is this something you are interested in?" Now let me ask you, if you've been believing for something, if those are the very words that came out of your mouth, and then someone comes to you and asks you if you want to do it, do you need to question whether you should or not? No way. No way. I don't have to think about going left or right. I know I'm just going to run right forward straight into this thing because God just put this path right in front of me that I know is him. And so I was able to say, yes, 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 yes. Kelly's in the background yelling, "Yes, absolutely, let's do it." Now we're in day 3. We're feeding over 100 kids a day right now. And it keeps growing every single day. Why? Because God knows. Because God knows. Because God wants to make your path straight. But if you're not acknowledging him, if you're not saying, make my path straight, if you're not giving him the opportunity, then all of the opportunity could be landing right in front of you. But if you're not prepared for it, you'll never know to take it. So wherever you're at in your life right now, whatever questions you have, whatever you're going through, I want to encourage you right now, take a minute and just say, God, I acknowledge you. You're king in my life and you're king in this situation. And whatever you want to do, I'm open to walking down that road. So God, we thank you today. We thank you today for your amazing ability to put the right path in front of us. God, would you open our eyes to see the path that you are putting in front of us? Would you open our eyes to see that path? God, and fill us with such a hope that we wouldn't question left or right, but that we would just know, yes, this is the straight path of the Lord in my life. That's chapter 3 of Proverbs. That's one verse of chapter 3 of Proverbs. Have an amazing day. I don't know what time we're going to do this. You might get me in a nicer shirt with a collar. You might get me having just fed 100 kids and in a t-shirt. I don't know. You might get me. You almost got me on the lawnmower this afternoon. We're just going to do this, okay? Let's read Proverbs together. Let's grab some wisdom and apply it to our lives. God bless you. Have an amazing day. If this encouraged you, please go ahead, share it so others can be encouraged as well. Have a great day. We'll see you at some